It has been a really full last quarter, and people warned me that being a missionary was going to be really intense. But sometimes you don't know how intense until you actually start doing it. April kicked off with a very beautiful moment. Juliana, a deaf woman who moved to Ensenada recently with her family, came to our women's Bible study on Thursday night, heard about Jesus, and accepted him into her heart right then and there. It was such a beautiful, tender moment. We all got to pray for her, encourage her, but also warn her that there would be some spiritual attacks that might come after this. And lo and behold, shortly after she visited the only deaf church in the city, she decided that church wasn't for her because of gossip and slander, which is a recurring problem within this community. But we are praying for her and loving her through it. Jesus is still working, but please pray that God would mature the deaf who are already attending church and give them tender hearts. To help combat this as well, we did a series on gossip for the women's Bible study, and it ended with making millstone bracelets as a reminder from Matthew 18:6, where it says, "But if you cause one of these little ones who trust in me to fall into sin, it would be better for you to have a large millstone tied around your neck and be drowned in the depths of the sea." Incredibly punk rock, if you ask me. And also in April, guess who started sign language classes? Jasmine, one of our deaf ladies who attend Bible study, started tutoring me. And you guys, it's so much easier than learning Spanish, and it's so much fun, even though Jasmine threatens to spank me almost every day for my many, many mistakes. In May, a small missions team came down for a week. We helped out some folks with groceries, patched a leaky roof. They took some sign language classes, prayed for and with the deaf leaders, and taught some of the deaf ladies how to crochet. I learned very quickly, though, that crocheting is definitely not for me, and I will stick with animation. But man, the deaf women picked it up so fast. And the hope is that some of these new skills might be helpful for them in starting small businesses so they can support themselves and take care of their families. And then we hosted the first big deaf gathering at La Bimba Cafe. Well, not the first, but the first in maybe like 2 years. It was loud, but like in a sign language kind of way. And I think about 50 people showed up, which I consider a huge success. And I actually got to converse with my very limited sign language. The point of these events is to simply fellowship and create a safe space to meet deaf people and start building those relationships. And near the end of the month, I was able to help one of the leaders of the Ensenada Deaf Association make a video menu for an upcoming deaf cafe. So now you can order a mocha without accidentally asking for a goat cheese smoothie. And finally in June is when Member Care came to check on us, make sure that we were alive, hydrated, spiritually fed. I'm not even kidding when I say that we literally all cried almost every single day. Like good tears though. And on this episode of Seasoned Saints, I had the privilege to ask Tom and Teresa their thoughts. They have been missionaries for 46 years, first in Arizona and New Mexico to the Navajo peoples, and then the past 32 years they have been missionaries in Mexico.
What I really wish I knew when I started was that I needed to be on a journey of inner healing from my own brokenness and the lies that I had believed about myself and God much, much sooner. That would have saved me a lot of grief.
And I think what I wish I would have known was, in Ephesians chapter 6, it talks about that our battle, it talks about putting on the armor, and that our battle is not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities. I think as missionaries, we spend a lot of time trying to solve conflict against each other and our team and other people, when really we need to be on our knees and asking the Lord to intervene, because we do have an enemy who is at work and wants to take us out.
That's April through June, from salvations to sign language to yarn and emotional support check-ins. Thanks for praying and giving and laughing with me and sometimes at me. Until next time, stay caffeinated, stay compassionate. I love you guys. Peace.